Hey everybody, happy fall, happy October. Hope the first month has gone well for you. Just want to dive into some quick updates for October as we think about our technology newsletter and just important things to know going forward. So one thing is a reminder of something upcoming that is going to happen very soon for us as staff members. And we mentioned it last month. We're going to continue talking about it until it comes. So tell all your friends to pay attention. We are going to be instituting MFA, multi-factor authentication, pretty soon as a requirement for all of our staff accounts. We've been talking about security for a long time in our district, last couple of years, especially with all the digital resources that are out there that are tied to our accounts. It's important for us to protect those, not just by having good passwords and practices with that, but also just in the nature of logging into things and how much that unlocks from a data standpoint, student information standpoint, and even just personal information. Many of us are, if not all, are familiar with what MFA is. You probably have to use it for your banking apps on a personal level, even some just accounts like buying an app or something like that requires it these days as well. And we're not going to be instituting in the form of click all the bridges or figure out where the motorcycles are or anything like that. It's going to be either a PIN number that you'll set up, or you can use a mobile app if you're used to using an authenticator type of app as a way to do it. We'll provide more information as that comes out and what that looks like. But just again, a heads up that this will be coming. So besides our account password, when you first log into ClassLink in the morning, it will ask you for a multi-factor authentication coming forward, just again as a way to keep our security tight as relating to our accounts and our information. And with that, we want to talk a little bit more about spam and phishing attempts. We've done a lot of training on this the last couple of years, and what I have on my screen here is our knowledge base guide on how we can identify what a spam email is or a phishing attempt email is, some key things to look for. One thing you might not know is that we do ongoing trainings as a technology department where we have campaigns that get sent out as a way to test our senses and our metal, if you will, in terms of identifying these types of emails. And so you might have seen some emails talking about, hey, so there's some parking passes that you need to fill out, or some weird asks from the curriculum department with Google Shares, or you might have gotten a free iTunes credit for not having to do anything, right? And so even as I talk about them now, they all kind of sound a little silly, but these are real life examples of what spam and phishing emails can be. And so we just want to remind everybody how you can identify those types of things. Use this knowledge base guide as a way to learn about the resources and different ways you can discover these things. Number one, always look for that subject of the email. Make sure if it says external email, that means it did not come from Haverhill Public Schools. Step two, look at the email address that it's sent from. If it's something weird, like if it's at a gmail.com account or some weird domain name, that's a good sign that something is not right about the email. And then number three, just look at the content. If the ask is weird, if it's a random notification that you weren't expecting and nobody talked to you about, those are just three easy steps that you can use to identify, is it a spam or a phishing email? If it is, you can report it as junk and delete and disregard, and we're good. If you're still not sure if it's something that you should take action on, don't reply to the email or click any links in it. Contact the person that supposedly sent it directly and see what happens. It might just be something that they'll tell you to disregard, or they'll say, oh, you need to do it this way or something like that. And then certainly if you need to, you can put in a support ticket. Honestly, we trust your training. If you've done your due diligence and you've identified it as spam or phishing, just mark it as such and delete. You don't have to notify us. But if you need assistance to identify, is this one or not, we can certainly coach you and help you along the way there as well. Those are my little security updates. I have two Did You Know updates for this month as well. And so let's take a look at what that is. The first is, did you know that in the ticket system, we have a way, if you're a classroom teacher, with scheduled sections in SchoolBrains, you actually can see those within your ticket system. So when you log into tech support, on the left-hand side, you have a My Classes view. And if you visit My Classes, it shows you all of the rosters that you have assigned to you. And if you click into any one of them, you're going to see a list of all the students that you have in there, along with their assigned devices. So if they're assigned a Chromebook or something else, you'll see that in there, and the ability to quickly submit a ticket for them on their behalf. And obviously that's a great little feature, so you don't need to ask somebody else to do it or try to get the students to do it. If you know there's an issue that a student's having with their assigned technology, you can just go right in the ticket system, go to My Classes, submit a ticket, fill out the form, and then we're all set from there. The other thing that you have as a quick feature in there is if your building has assigned a classroom to your schedule, you'll also see any devices that are attached to that room. So whether it's your projector or interactive whiteboard or document camera, you'll see those as items in your list and in your view, so you can quickly submit a ticket for them as well, should you need a little help on that front. So we hope that My Classes view is a helpful thing for the classroom teachers out there. And then finally, if you are a Google Classroom user, they've long had a feature that you could keep track of some grades while you're in there. And as we know, SchoolBrains is our source of truth for all grading. You need to have that up to date for community, report cards, and all the things. But if you do use Google Classroom for some digital assignment management, it can be helpful to have grades in there as part of it. They've expanded their features in here to include grading scales, to include the grading categories. I mean, you can also have grading terms in there as well. And why this can be helpful for you if you're one of those that keeps track of grades in Google Classroom is you can match this with what you have set up in your SchoolBrains gradebook. So any calculations that might be done, any ranges of times or gradelet scales are accurate per what you have in SchoolBrains. So check that out just simply in your settings on Google Classroom, where you can set the scale, the grading periods, and any categories if you want. And that can be a nice match for you from there. And like I said, it's a short month, just a couple quick updates. As you know, just reminders that we have training appointments available. So if you need a little extra hand learning a new system, diving deeper in some analytics, getting your feet wet in something you haven't touched before, let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you out. And keep us in the loop with any support tickets as well. And then we'll be sure to help you as best as we can. All right, take care, enjoy the month of October, and we'll see you next month.